Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Sarah Becca Vine. I'm delighted to be live back in the group with you all again. If you are here, please jump on and say hello. Big hello to Louise, Babs, Jane, Erwin. Lovely to see you all here. So this week, I want to talk a little bit about grief. As some of you know, I lost my beloved cat last weekend, a little cat called Magic, who was an incredibly powerful and beautiful soul for everyone that met him. He was so loved. He had so much love for us. And it was a complete and utter shock. So that was why, obviously, I couldn't be live in here last week. And thank you for all the lovely comments on the little video that I put in the group sharing Magic. It was my way of honouring that special little soul. And it got me thinking. It was a complete shock, totally unexpected, totally heartbreaking, as grief is. And yet I'm a great believer in life after death. I always have been. I don't actually have any fear of grief myself or of dying myself. I feel very connected to the spirit realm. I always have been. If any of you have done your star archetype quiz, I'm a void worker, which means 1 foot in physical, 1 foot in spiritual. So I'm very comfortable with death, with the idea of death. I've led a lot of people through the grief process, including the ego death process. But I wanted to talk about it and share a little bit about this week on today's live, because it's something that we all have to suffer with, unfortunately. And it did get me thinking, how many of us still have grief stuck in our energy? How much of us have unresolved grief? How much of us still have the shock that can get stuck in our system when grief occurs, especially unexpectedly, like it did last week for me. So I'm going to be sharing and doing a big healing for everyone that's live here on the call. So those of you, a lot of you already know who I am. I've been told I'm the healer of the healers. I am here to help the healers, help earth angels, light workers, to heal themselves so that we can go out and heal the world and heal other people and be there. So I'm going to be doing this a little bit different. I did run a membership site for 10 years, as many of you are aware. And I want to try and create a little bit how I would do one of the calls in there, so we can have a big healing for everyone that's live on the call. You might be quite comfortable with grief yourself, or there may be someone that comes to mind even as I'm speaking. There's still some stuff stuck in your energy. So I thought it'd be really beautiful, and a way of being of service is to share my experience and then help all of you as well, because it's a very sad subject. And even though I can feel Magic's energy, he's with me now. I can feel a dog I used to have called Monty. He was a Rottweiler. He's always been very present. I can feel him now as I'm even saying that, and I can feel those that are in spirit. So I know we don't really die, we just go home. But as human beings, it's very traumatic for us because we have to deal with all those human emotions. So I really want this to set the intention for today's live to be a beautiful space where the intention is to expand that love that we have for those that are in spirit, and to bring that deep sense of peace within all of you as well. So hello B, welcome for joining us. If you have just joined, please say hello. My phone's just a little bib, so I'm just going to turn that off, and so we can start. So thank you for all the beautiful comments on that little video of Magic. One of the most heartbreaking things was telling my children. When we first got him, I'd split up with my ex-partner Gareth, who I get on brilliant with now. And it really sort of made our little family unit complete. And I'm sure all of you that know, whether it's a person or whether it's a pet, just how important they are to us in our lives and how much love that we have for them. And but what was the hardest thing is it was just so unexpected. Hi Hannah. It was just so unexpected, and it was a total shock. So even though I could immediately feel, I knew he was at peace immediately. How it happened, I got a phone call from the vet. A beautiful local lady had found his body, took him to the vets, and she even brought him home to me. She was in tears, I was in tears. It was the most heartbreaking time. And obviously the shock. So even though I know we go home that piece, I could feel my dear friend Ruthie. Those of you that remember Ruth or know Ruth, Ruth Doolittle, she went as she was an animal communicator. She worked with magic when I first got him. I could feel her energy. I knew he was home, but obviously the human part of me totally disintegrated and went into such a painful place. And the physical pain, the emotional pain, the mental pain, as we know, is horrific. And it does take time. It's only been a week, just over a week. It was last Sunday that we had the news. But I wanted to share about it because I'm a great believer that we go through things, and when we can share and we can help other people, there's so much of a gift and a blessing within that. So while we wait for more people to join, we will please do share if you think of anyone that's in spirit. It could be a pet, it could be someone that you love, because we're going to be asking them to join us. So called in all the angels. So I do invite you just to take some deep breaths so we can just feel a little bit more present. So just take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and just let everything sort of drain away into the earth. Nice deep breath in and relax on that exhale. We just want to feel a little bit more present in our bodies, and take another nice deep breath in again. And just let everything drain off, so you just feel more present in your body. So my mum passed almost a year ago, 25th of September. It's been one of the hardest years of my life, but I'm thankful to. I've grown so much for all the trauma I've experienced. Bless you, B. I think we do, don't we? We do grow so much with everything that happens in our lives. And it's so tragic and so heartbreaking. And we know we're spiritual beings. We know we're earth angels, we're light workers. We know we're here for a reason. We know we want to serve, we want to help other people. But we also need to help ourselves. We can't pour from an empty cup. So my intention today is for everyone that is live watching this with me now, for everyone that watches the replay, that I can bring you some comfort, bring you some peace, and just to clear anything that may be stuck in your body. So I used to run a membership site. I used to do a live call. We do big clearings every week. I really want this to be very similar to that, to be of service and to help those of you. Obviously, I'm working with a group, so I try and shift as much as I can. But if it is something that you are still struggling with, please do reach out. I do private one-to-ones. We can go really deep. There's obviously so much we can do in a group, but I will certainly do as much as I can. B, thank you. Bob, bless you. Yeah, children, they never truly leave us, but we sure do feel the emotions. That we do, Babs. I find that ending relationships can be like grief as well as in floods of tears. Yes, Hannah. Do you know what? I broke up with my ex about 7.5 years ago. Although we get on brilliantly, it was grief. It was so sad. It was sad more than anything else. It was that grief at the end of the relationship. Miranda, hi Sarah, my dad, I miss him. Yeah, bless you, Miranda. It's incredibly hard, isn't it? Because we do still miss them. We still, I remember my nan passing, and I can feel her with me. I can feel Monty, which is a Rottweiler we had years ago, with me. I can feel actually all the animals. I say my little magic cat. I don't know if some of you remember one of the lives I did a few years ago. He actually come in my arms and just fell asleep in my arms as I was doing a meditation. He just loved to be involved. He loved to be involved in everything. And although he was only a cat, technically, he was so much more than that. He was so much more than that. And but that's why I wanted to do this live today, so we can do some healing for all of you. Loss is still loss, as Bab said. There's more than one way to lose someone. It's still loss, it's still grief. So what I'm going to be inviting you to do is just to really acknowledge what's there. When you think of those loved ones, it might be someone specific for you. It might just be that general feeling of loss. whatever feels right for you, so we can just help to shift this. So got some admins with me. I've got the babbies with me, Babs, and we're going to also be tuning in collectively for you. Okay, sometimes we can't really feel, we can't really connect, we don't know how to test in on ourselves to get the answers. We just know how we feel, or not. I would imagine there may well be some resistance for some of you, and that is totally okay. We're here to support you in this space, so we can hold this space for each other, and hold it in a space of love and the intention to allow more peace into our hearts so that we can move through. So with what happened last weekend, it was just how unexpected it was, and the shock, which can happen oftentimes. Obviously then the grief of my children, we just cried together for quite a long time, several days. It was just non-stop. I was planning to come on here. I was still planning to be on here. I would have broken down by now if I was on here last week. So I still feel sad. I still miss Magic, but he's with me. I've connected with him. He's in my heart. So I think that's part of the human things. So Owen's saying, I had a good friend from my early 20s onwards who I shared a lot of interesting things. He left 15 years ago, much of it self-abuse, but I still have memories that make me laugh. I was a bit shocked on my last visit to Germany that his pauper's grave had been cleared and disappeared. Oh, that's sad. Sandy, divine timing. Divine timing. So we've all lost someone that we love, be it a pet, be it someone. Some of us have lost so many people. And because of the experience that I've just been through, I mean, I've obviously been through grief before, but I wanted to share with this today so that we can just see what may still be stuck in our energy. It might be someone that you've lost years ago. It might be recent. There might be multiple people or furry friends that you've lost. So we really want to just shift this, and we're going to be checking in on some stuff as well. Hi, Mindy. So welcome everybody who keeps joining. Everyone that's watching this, I just appreciate you all being here. So let's call in spirit. And let's call in all of our loved ones. Let's call in the angels, the guides, our ascended masters. Let's also call in the dragons. Let's call in Jesus. Anyone else you wish to call in, please just set the intention and call them in. Anyone that may well be in spirit, that you may be struggling with, or any support that any of your guides that you like to call in, please allow yourself to just ask them to be with us all now. And one of the things that I found really interesting was obviously the initial shock, the unexpectedness. What was that? I still had shock in my energy from the past. And this might be true for many of you as well, when we've lost someone very suddenly. And it might not even be someone that you actually know. It could be someone, someone famous, like Princess Diana, for example, or someone that we know, that we follow, that we like, that we look up to, that have suddenly passed. And there's been lots of people that have left the planet suddenly, and we can still have that shock in our energy. And when we have that shock in our energy, things get stuck. Things don't really fully move through. I feel with the grief that I suffered from losing Magic, it's moved through. There was nothing stopping it or blocking it. I could fully grieve, which was incredibly uncomfortable and painful, physically painful, so emotionally, mentally painful. Even I always knew he was home in my heart. I couldn't, it was like it was in the minority of the grief. Whereas now, the sadness is in the minority, and the peace and the love and the connection is the greater. So let's have a little check in that. So I do invite you all to take some breaths and to just allow yourself to relax. So I just invite you to breathe in deeply and just relax on that exhale. And as you breathe in, imagine a big bright light above your head. like this vortex of light that's flowing down, and just breathe that in into your crown, but also over your body. So it's just going to flow down your body. Just breathe that in all the way down to your toes. And just relax. And just allow that energy to flow through you, over you, and just to go down into the earth, down into the roots that you have into the earth, a cord. We'll just make some new roots, of course, and just allow that light that's streaming down through you, over you, just to ground deeply with the earth. Let's go all the way down. You may well see this in your mind's eye, or if not, just imagine. We're just going to take that all the way down to the very center of the earth. Just feel that connection. And then as you breathe in, we're just going to breathe in now. Imagine breathing in through our feet. And breathing up your body. And breathing that up into your heart. And breathing Mother Earth's energy up into your head. And allowing that energy to flow. So we have that light flowing down, we have the light flowing up, and I invite you to place your hands over your heart space. Just connecting with your heart. As you call everyone, allow everyone to step in this place. Okay, beautiful. So the first thing I want to ask you to feel, you may feel this, you may sense this, you may imagine this, you may be able to muscle test your energy and get a yes or a no from this, but I just want to see what happens when I ask these questions, okay? So let's just allow any unresolved shock in your energy, where something's been unexpected. Could be someone or something that you know personal that you've lost, or sorry, it could be something a bit like a celebrity or someone that you've known that was a total shock, and just allow yourself to feel that shock that may be stuck in your system, and just allow any hidden shocks as well. Okay, and just give me permission to connect with your higher self, with you guys, and we're just going to start releasing and dissolving this. So all I ask you to do is just to breathe, and we're just going to acknowledge all this shock, all this unresolved shock in your energy from grief, and we're just going to start to release and dissolve that now. So as you just breathe deeply and gently, just notice the feelings, the intensity. Okay, super conscious, connecting with everyone's higher selves. Can we just identify all this shock trapped in people's energy? Any shock from this life, from parallel lifetimes, from past lifetimes? Can we just bring all of that into the mix, please? And anywhere that may even be inherited, can we just release and transmute that now, please, for everyone? Just release and dissolve all shocks. Any hidden shocks as well. Anywhere there's hidden shocks, just ask that to be highlighted up in your energy. So you may feel this, you may feel this outside of you. And let's just release and dissolve all those hidden shocks. Any energy reversals connected to this, please. Can we just acknowledge any of that resistance to releasing this? And can we just transmute that as well, please? Just keep taking those nice deep breaths. Okay, that feels really nice and calm and peaceful. But let's just check in. Okay, so any of that shock, there feels there's some shock that we still have there. It's a little bit stuck, because in a way it's like, I don't want to let go of it. There's a resistance to let go of it. There's a fear of letting go of it. And sometimes we can have this around grief in general. There can be a real fear to let go of that, because it's like, then what? I'm not honouring that person anymore if we let that go. So let's just acknowledge that, okay? And let's just release and dissolve that, please, for everyone. Any of that fear around letting go of that shock, that initial shock. So be it in this life, past life, parallel lifetimes, Let's just release and dissolve that, please, and any of that resistance around it. I'm just going to come in. I feel like I really want to connect with a lot of you's inner child. We can get a little bit scared, especially our inner children. My inner child would totally distort. So I'm just going to connect with you. If I have your permission, just give me permission in your head. Let's just release and dissolve all of that shock, hidden shock, and the energy reversed around that shock, any of that resistance or that fear of releasing that. Let them know it's safe to let that go, safe to let that shock go. Okay, that feels really clear. I just want you to check in with yourself and just see, is there any remaining or hidden shock in me from losing someone that I love? Is there any remaining or hidden shock in me from losing someone I love? Still getting a yes from someone. Okay, let's just acknowledge that. Okay, so we're going to just bring in and okay, the next energy that got coming in. We can have a lot of unresolved trauma. This can be incredibly, as we know, incredibly traumatizing. So let's just acknowledge that trauma that's connected in with that. Obviously, shopping in and of itself is not a standalone thing. So let's just acknowledge that trauma. And if you have any unresolved trauma or any unresolved grief, I just ask you, allow yourself to just sense that and feel that. You might feel that in your body. It may feel very uncomfortable. Just see if you can allow yourself to just feel it. You're in a very, very safe place right now. Just so we can acknowledge it. We can just start releasing that for you. All you need to do is breathe. Let's just start to acknowledge it, start unlocking it. Can we just treat the resistance that we have and the fear for anyone of letting this go? If it feels like we're letting go of a memory, or we're not going to be letting them go, but really what we're doing is we're just making way for that grief to start to dissipate and be replaced with love. Okay, so this trauma, I feel that there's still a lot of trauma there. So let's just acknowledge that from whatever deaths there may have been, if there's been suffering, if there's been violence, anything that's stuck there, just allow yourself to acknowledge it. Please type in and let me know how you're doing as we go through this, or anything that's coming up for you. Okay, just acknowledging this trauma, and just breathe. Let's just allow that to start to release. Just allow yourself to acknowledge that. You only want to feel it for a moment. I don't want you to stay stuck in any kind of grief or trauma, or to bring anything up. We just want to acknowledge it so we can let it go. So super, can we just acknowledge all of this deep grief, this grief trauma, everywhere it's stuck in people's bodies, in their systems, in their cells, in their DNA. And can we just treat that, please, in the perfect way, the most gentle, harmonious way for everybody, for all time, space, realities and dimensions? Can we just bring in any of that that's connected past lifetimes? And let's just start treating that, please, in the perfect way. Just releasing and dissolve that. Any energy reversals that may be stuck there, just release those now. Release that fear, that resistance, that worry as well. that we're going to letting go of someone or their memory. Let's just acknowledge that and just let yourself know that it's safe to allow this to move through. Bless you, be. So many of you have been through such pain and suffering. Yeah. And that's the thing, when it's a very traumatic death, when someone has been murdered, or it's been very violent, or it's been incredibly painful, it hurts so bad because so many of us are empaths. We feel all of this. So let's just allow it to us just to really just acknowledge what keeps coming up for you and just breathe. You're in a really, really safe space right now. We're just going to just keep letting go of this trauma, letting go of this unresolved grief, letting go of the pain that's there for you. Who's just shared that 2 people die every second somewhere on earth, we just don't know them. That's so true. That's the one thing that's true about life is death, isn't it? That's one thing we're all guaranteed. Although I don't believe in death in the sense that that's it. You know, I believe that we leave this physical plane, this physical vessel, and go home. And having that is such a strong, profound belief in me. It's a core belief. It's something that my heart, my spirit, my soul knows to be true. It's incredibly comforting that we go home. I do believe that it's always divine timing, although we don't want it to be divine timing. We don't want people to leave. And it's the questioning, isn't it, the shock and the processing of us, because we're human. Spiritual beings having this human experience, and a human part of us is the feelings and the emotions, and then also the thoughts and everything that comes with that, and it's incredibly painful. Bless you, Shelley. So just feel that, if that's coming up for you now, Shelley, because it's hard, isn't it, when you don't really quite know, but there might still be some part of you that's feeling that loss. This grief is obviously, we have that loss, there's a sadness, and there can be a lot of other emotions that can be mixed up in grief. There can be regret, there can be anger, there can be guilt. There can be lots of different emotions that we can feel when we lose someone. What ifs? What if? And I do believe everything happens for a reason, and this is part of our spiritual growth, and we're here to help and heal other people, but we obviously need to start with ourselves first. So when we can allow this grief to move through us, and we can replace it with divine peace and that unconditional love, that expanded energy of love, we can connect. You know, if any of you have dreamt of anyone that you loved in spirit, that is their way of coming through to you. I know many of us have gifts. I can't actually physically see spirit, but I can certainly sense them and feel them. But one way, the easiest way for them to come through is in our dreams, or they may leave little reminders, or they may move things around the house, all those kind of things to let us know they're still with us. This is also loss of concept. I could have been is valid. Yeah, what Babs has just shared with you, Shelley, it is so valid. We really want to acknowledge this. Bless you, Sandy. It's amazing. And I know, Sandy, bless you. We've all lost so much, and some of us a lot more than others, but it's still valid. It's still valid. Even if you think, well, I've not really lost anyone, but you might have lost a friendship, you might have lost a pet, You might have found out that someone you went to school with died. You know, you might be still have a bit of have upset or shock around someone famous that's died that you followed, because there's a lot of people that die suddenly. You might have seen something of someone that's died, and that shocked you. You know, when there's been like shootings and things like this. So just allow and feel whatever's coming up, and I just invite you just to allow whatever is still there, whatever's hidden in those depths. I invite you to allow yourself to just go in there and see what is there, what feelings or emotion there. And please let me know how you're doing, Bob. Can you let me know how you're doing? And anyone else, please just let me know how that's feeling for you, if there still feels like there's anything stuck. And as that starts to release and it starts to dissipate, I want you to imagine that vortex of light that's flooding down. It feels like it's all these little sparkles of light that's coming down. And I want you just to breathe into that. Allow whatever's released, and maybe still continuing to release, to allow that sense of love, that sense of peace, knowing that they're all home. They're all home. It really is the hardest thing of being human, is to deal with this and the suffering. My cousin's name was Michelle. We called her Shelley. I miss her so much. To hear her name just confirmed I needed to let go of the pain. Yes, B, bless your heart. My friend has cancer. I'm praying for him all the time. Bless you. I send love and prayers to your friend as well, Hannah. Oh, Bob, remain consistently dead inside. It is, it's like a part of us has died. And it's like, don't want to let it go. It becomes part of us, doesn't it? It becomes part of our identity. It becomes part of who we are. We just sort of get on. We just sort of keep living, and it can become normal, like our constant. But what if we could just acknowledge that and allow it just to sort of open a little bit, so we could allow a bit of light into that, and that love that's bursting to come forth. Because especially when they're children, I believe they grow in spirit. In fact, I've connected with babies that have passed, that have grown in spirit, and sometimes they need to touch that earth plane for just a moment, and then it was like that was all they needed to be here for. And now for us, as dealing with that as horrific, traumatizing, so painful. But if we can bring in this higher perspective that we live on, our souls are eternal, and we live in, we come from spirit. Before we come in this physical experience, we return back. And having that higher perspective is really a beautiful perspective to have, because it does bring that comfort in. It doesn't bring them back, and it doesn't bring back that loss or the what ifs, if they carried on living, what could have been. But it just allows that heart to open some more, to feel their love, because everyone that we're connected to, there's so much love coming down from spirit. And sometimes people that pass are not the nicest people, but I do believe, I mean, I'm not a medium. I can connect with spirit. I certainly don't practice mediumship, because sometimes if people aren't very nice in this life, their spirit that comes through is not necessarily very nice. But beyond that, our souls are love. That's what we're connected to. And so it's just being able to acknowledge that within ourselves and allow that to really feel that, and to acknowledge that, and to choose if we want to hold on to the pain, or if we are ready to maybe let that go and let that to start to open a little bit, so we can allow some more love in. So for everyone here, I literally feel like we have just got this massive blanket of love surrounding everyone. I feel like we've got a lot of spirit that's already connected with many of you. Maybe that you can feel them with you. But there's also, it feels like we have spirit that's not quite able to come through because of what we're maybe still holding on to. Okay, and that's okay. Okay, there's no judgment, but if you are willing to just be open to how that could feel, we could let that go, and we could allow that love and that light to come in to our consciousness. Please just be open to allow that. Yeah, and as Babs has shared, we can continue to have a relationship with them in spirit. My relationship with my brother since his passing is beautiful one, I feel, with most days. Yeah. Babs, if you don't, do I have permission to share, Babs? Just let me know yes if I do, and I'll just share a little bit. I can, I was in the garden and I was hanging up my washing the other day, and I was, hello, Madge. Because he'd always be around my feet. If the door was open, he would come in and try and get on my lap. I just want to be, yeah. So Babs's brother had a very sad, traumatic life. Incredibly sad, incredibly traumatic. And he killed himself. And Babs wasn't in contact at the time. But we've done a lot of work on this. I remember having a session with Babs. It wasn't nothing to do about her brother Damien. And I was like, I've got Damien here with me. And with, you know, and with the dedication to doing that healing, the inner work, he's 100% with her. And I can feel him with us now, Babs. And we can have the most amazing relationship with those in spirit. Rhiannon, hi Rhiannon, long time no see. We're talking about grief. I know it's a very sad subject, and we're just doing some healing for everyone. So, okay, how is everyone feeling? I feel that we've got some smiles with people. I feel a lot of people's energy is a lot lighter, but there's still a lot of heaviness and sadness. If you feel like you actually feel you've had a nice big shift, let's just hold that space for everyone still on here, and those that are listening to this recording as well, because it's so powerful for us to be here and support each other. Bless you, Jacqueline. I lost the love of my life to cancer 4 years ago. I still miss him so much. Yeah, and I do feel that we don't stop missing them, do we? We don't stop missing them. And I can think of people that I've loved and that I've lost. I always miss them. I always wish I could give them a hug. And I talk to them in my head. And feel that connection, and I feel that deep sense of peace in my heart, but it can be very challenging still. So, okay. Let's have a look again. Bless you, Babs. Sarah's an amazing healer. I've healed and grown so much working with her, the one-to-one sessions I've had have been profound. I have, and it's been a blessing to be with you on your journey, especially with what you've been through. Shelley, my cousin's suicide last year, a few days before my birthday. Bless you up. Ho'oponopono, it helps me, yeah. Ho'oponopono is incredibly brilliant. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And anything that's going to help move through, because grief is a process, isn't it? We can have all those different emotions in it. So if any of you are having maybe a different emotion come up now since we've been on live, please let me know so we can try and cover that. Obviously I want to try and help you all as much as I can in the time that we have today. And it does feel like there's a bit of numbness, so let's just acknowledge that, because quite often we go into that complete numb state. It's a lot better to feel numb than feel it. Yeah, I really allowed myself to feel last weekend, and the days that followed, and it was horrific. It was so painful, and my poor little children as well, absolutely devastated. And going through that, when we allow ourselves to feel, because that's what we don't want to do. We don't want to feel that pain. It hurts too fucking much. It's like, but there's such a gift in allowing ourselves through that process. So I do believe the shock, which was what I wanted to start with, can really hold stuff in place, because it's unexpected. We're not expecting that. Numb is a good description. My heart space is full of love, and I've sent love intent to everyone. Bless you, B. Yeah, bless you, B. So if you're feeling that open and love, and I can feel some of you are, that is just surround everyone with us live, and everyone that's going to listen to this call and listen to this replay, to feel that love that we're holding space for all of you. And this numbness, I've felt this many times in my life in the past, and I'm sure we all have. We don't want to feel. It's like why do we want to feel this pain, and it's so painful and exhausting. But if we smooth it over, if we numb it out, it's still in our energy, and it can pop up sometimes, or it can cause that dis-ease in our energy. Our energy needs to flow. That grief, it needs to flow through us. This heaviness, this pain, so we can, as it flows through, we can expand in that love, expand in that peace within. I mean, I know it was Magic's time. I certainly didn't think that when it happened. It's like, no. But on a higher level, I know it's always divine timing. As painful as me, and how painful, however, it may happen. So let's just acknowledge whatever you're feeling right now, and just be willing to maybe start letting that go. And we're going to let it all go in the most gentle, harmonious way for all of you. So some of you, this might release while we're on the call live now, or while you're listening to this recording. And some of you, it may take a few hours, or it may take a few days, and that's okay. There's no rush with any of this. We just want to allow it to start to unravel in you, so that we can feel that love that's there for you from everyone in spirit. To know and have unconditional is inner peace. I've been so blessed. Yes, Jacqueline. Unconditional love is inner peace. It totally is. It's so powerful to hold that place of peace within, and love within. So powerful. So let's just check in on the collective with everybody. We've still got some numbness. It feels like we've still got some heaviness that's going on there. So let's just acknowledge that and just keep breathing. And if you feel that you are radiating that love, your loved ones are with you, you're sensing, let's just send that for everyone else. And let's just release and dissolve any of that resistance, any of that fear, any of that worry, or the fear of the pain that's going to be. We only want it to be felt maybe for a moment so that it can start to move and dissipate for all of you, okay? Any energy reversals that we have connected to any of this, let's just release and dissolve that, please, for everyone. So again, I just feel this blanket of love come around. I'm not sure if I've healed, I have numbness, or if I've healed. Does that make sense? It does, Mindy. Do you know how to muscle test, how to get a yes or a no in your body? Just tune in. I feel like there is a little bit of numbness there. What you mean is we just want to acknowledge it. It does feel like it's healing. It does feel like it's moving for you. So let's just acknowledge whatever that is there, because that numbness is like a layer, isn't it? It just sort of sits on it. It's like I can't see what's below there. And in a way, I've always been a bit like blasé. I think I said I'm going to just jump head first into things. It's my nature. And then what have I done? But with this, we want to get into the depth of it. This is the perfect opportunity to really allow yourself to just go a bit deeper, deep as you want. You know, and if any of you are still struggling with this, please reach out. If you'd like a one-to-one and you want some more support with this, I'm here to help you. B, send love to Shirley, Mindy and Bob. I've had a lot of trauma from childhood and beyond, so I think numbness is probably a normal thing for me. Yeah, unfortunately, Mindy, it's our coping mechanism, isn't it? When we've been through so much, it's easier to numb it out. It's easier to not feel. It's easier to just compartmentalize it so we don't have to deal with it. The only problem with things like that is as we ascend, as we hold more light, as we hold more light codes, as the planet's starting to shift, the things that we don't want to deal with or acknowledge can start coming up a little bit, and it's like, no, stay down, keep that there. And we will have that cycle. I'm sure you've all felt the cycles. I know I have. Well, we have cycles when we feel, yes, feel good, and then we go for that period of, oh, no, not feeling so good. And this can be in tune with the year as well, when traumatic things have happened. I know for years in the membership site I run, I used to do a Christmas call because of the dread and the stress around Christmas that people used to have, and the trauma around that. You know, some people absolutely hate it. Some people are like crazy for it, and other people like, it's the worst time of the year because we can lose people and things happen. So yeah, it really, we go through these cycles. And you might find that today, listen to this replay or being live with me now, you may find that if you come back at a later stage, there's some more may release for you. If you're not quite ready to let it all go now, that's okay. Just as I'm being here with you, there's so much going on around in the energetics. There's so much support and there's so much love. And I literally feel like the angels are holding you and supporting all of you, especially if you're not quite ready yet to go into that depth. That is okay. There's absolutely no judgment, just love for all of you. So Jacqueline's, I'm learning how the moon changes my emotion. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Oh, we love you too, Sandy. I like to think I've healed most of it, but not sure if I just think that or not. Mindy, is that with the trauma, or is that around grief? You may well have. I think we're all on this healing journey, aren't we? As healers ourselves. I can remember when I was told, I was told years ago. I think I was in my early 20s. Even though I feel like I'm only about 20 now. I'm actually not, I'm 46. But I was told he was the healer of the healers. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, as we all know, every one of you here, we go through our own healing journey, and we don't. We're always learning. We're always growing. We're always expanding. If we ever think that's it, got it all sorted, the universe will go, you're still human. There's something else in the mix, and it's challenging for all of us. It's the most amazing experience when we're able to really serve and help people. We have a big breakthrough ourselves because it's that constant expansion, and as we expand, the universe is expanding, which is really cool. So we're all playing the part, and I think even with what we're doing today, I think this is extending in a much further reach, as well as we help heal within ourselves, we help others. So it's the trauma and grief. Okay, let's check you a minute. So the trauma and grief, I feel like there is still a little bit there. Mindy, I'm getting this from this lifetime as well. Okay, let's just tune in whatever that is, and let's just release and dissolve any shock around that. And if that remaining trauma, your inner child, know that's safe. It's safe to let that go. And all of your inner children to feel so safe and loved. Is this around, is it around someone specific? Mindy, when you think of, is it someone, how does that feel now? So as this is all sort of moving away, and I can feel it like dissipating. And I remember we've got this beautiful stream of light coming in. We've got Mother Earth supporting us, all our guides and angels. It's just going to be filled with more love, filled with more peace and light, as we just start to shift and allow this to move through. As Bab said, it's a continuous journey. Always try to be curious as to how the next part of the journey will unfold, knowing that whatever happens, and however I feel, it will pass. That is so true. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. There are several. I actually feel good. Thank you so much. You are most welcome, Mindy. It does feel nice. It does feel nice and clear. I feel we got a lot from spirit around us right now. I don't know if you can feel that, if you're tuned in, but yeah, we got a lot. I feel we got ancestors are coming in as well. And it feels like there's a lot of gratitude. I feel when we can release, when we lose someone we love, we want to hold on to them, don't we? We don't want to let them go. We want to hold on to it, even in that pain and that grief. And when we can open it up and be like, and you can feel their love coming in, because they still love you so much, so much. I remember doing a psychic development course years ago, about 20 odd years ago, and we had to take a picture of someone that had passed. I didn't realise, but I had a photograph of my dog in my purse. It was a Rottweiler called Monty. He was the most amazing. And funny enough, he only lived to 7. Magic was 7, my little cat. Monty only lived to 7. And she looked at this picture and she was just like, he still loves you so much. And because they do. And they would not want you to be suffering in this earthly life, holding on to things when they're okay, they're home. Even if someone has passed in a very traumatic or painful way, there's nothing but love for them upstairs, nothing but love. And if need be, absolutely, they get the care and the love, the attention that their soul needs. But it's us here on this plane that feel these different emotions. So they're all smiling down us with pure unconditional love and telling we've got this. Yes, I'm so very connected to you, Sandy. Mindy, yes. I think I feel everything in me. I hope you feel everything I'm in. I had a meeting too. I want to say thank you for all the healing on my shoulder. It feels nice. Oh, brilliant, Dream. I'm so glad it does. If you want to get rid of that extra 10%, let me know, because everything that we go through, there's an energetic. I love the energetics of things. So yeah, that is so beautiful. It brings me so much peace. I have dealt with my hubby's death, and also being a blessing. Being a blessing as he was suffering. I was relieved at first, and the rest of the emotions took over. Jacqueline, yeah, it's how does that feel now? I mean, I'm just obviously so sorry for everyone that's lost anyone. How is that feeling now for you, Jacqueline? Are you feeling more peace and more love, or is there still stuff? Because as we know, with grief, we have that initial shock. Sometimes it's really shock because it's unexpected. Then we have obviously the grief, and in that grief, there's so many different emotions trapped in that: the trauma, the pain, the suffering, the loss, the grief, the regret, the sadness, the anger. Like, how dare they leave us? You know, sometimes the feeling's coming back, and it doesn't hurt every day anymore. I'm so grateful. Wonderful dreamer. That was for some healing we done on one of the lives back now, wasn't it? So how is everyone feeling? We're coming up to the hour already. How is that all feeling for all of you? Do you all feel in a greater place of peace, greater place of love? I sincerely hope you all do. If there is any of you that still has some stuff remaining, just acknowledge that and just be willing to allow that to move. So it might not want to go straight away. It might be a bit more of a gradual process. Sometimes when I work with people, it can take, sometimes people can let it go instantly, some people a little bit slower. It feels like it's all moving for everybody. That's what it feels like. I'm not feeling or sensing that anything is actually stuck. It feels like it's shifted, and then maybe some moving. It still feels a little bit of heaviness, but it feels like it's starting to unravel. So I'd love to have some feedback, and let me know how that is for all of you. So just to wrap up, let's just come into a place of a heart. Thank you. I'm glad I've tuned in. Bless you and love and light to you. Thank you, Jacqueline. Let's just all get into our heart space, shall we? So I just invite you to place your hands over your hearts. Feel your loved ones in spirit with you. Feel that love that is there. Feel your guides, your angels, the ascended masters, the dragons, Jesus, God, Source, whatever names you want to give for this higher powers around us. And just breathe, and as you breathe into your heart, just allow your heart to expand. And allow that to fill your bodies, your fingers, down into your toes. And just keep breathing in that love. And allow that to imagine that it's expanding out outside of your body in this beautiful sphere of energy around you. And allow that to continue to expand with every breath. And I want you just to notice that light that's flooding down, that light from Source. And just for everybody, can we just expand that? So as you just breathe, I'm just going to expand that to the maximum for everybody. Can we allow that to flow at 100%, please, as well? Beautiful. Okay, and as you just keep breathing your heart and feel that energy coming up from Earth. Okay, guys, can we just expand that funnel, please? So everyone to the maximum, allowing that to flow at 100% as well, please. And just breathe in that love and that support from Gaia and in your heart. And just feel that love. It feels so big and huge, doesn't it? It feels like we're all connected over the globe. And let's just expand that love. So I'm just going to ask you to imagine that you're going to expand it for the size of the planet. So we can just encompass this whole love, this whole world in a blanket of love. And I'm going to ask you to breathe again. We're going to expand it again to the size of the universe. Big deep breath in. And beyond. And just take some deep breaths. Allowing that love to fill you, to flow through you, to integrate into every single cell of your body, into your DNA, into this life, past life, parallel lifetimes, into your younger selves, into your future selves. Allowing this light to flood the planet, to flood the universe, this unconditional love and light. And this beautiful healing energy. Love is so healing. And just take some breaths and just be focused in on your heart space. And just come back into your physical body. You may like to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. I always like to give myself a thump on the chest, right in here. And thank you to everybody who's watched. Thank you for all of you being here live, for all your comments. Thank you to everyone upstairs, all those in spirit that have joined us today, everyone that has been with us on all the different dimensions. Thank you to all my guides, angels, dragons, for working with all of you in this way as well. Mindy said, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for this. I appreciate you. Love and light, Sarah. Bless you. Thank you so much. Sarah from B. Hannah, thank you. This was so healing. Bless you all. Thank you all. If you would like to express your appreciation, you can buy me a coffee bond. It's just to show your support. If you do need any further support, I do have one-to-ones and I can help people go a lot deeper. Grief is dear to my heart. I'm very much one foot in the spiritual, one in the physical. I always have been like this. I've always felt a deep affinity with the spiritual, even though I'm so grounded and down to earth. I actually have people wonder how I can be so spiritual when I'm so down to earth and human, but that's just how I am. I want to keep it as real as possible. Jane, thank you for being live. Dreamer, can't wait to get home and watch the replay. You're so amazing. Sarah Rebecca, thank you for all you're doing for everyone. Love and light. Bless you, Dreamer. Thank you. I'll do some journey now. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for allowing me to do what I do best, which is I love healing the healers, helping the healers, guiding the healers, because we're all here for a reason. We're all here for a bigger purpose, as we know, and the world certainly needs more of us in our power, in our genius, in our gifts, so we can help and have this ripple a place over the world. So I thank you all for being with me today. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm so grateful. Out of something that was just so tragic for me last weekend, that I could come here and show up and do today's live like this for you, because it felt like it was the right thing to do. So my love to all of you. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you for all the love and for the appreciation. Enjoy the rest of your day, your evening. My love to you. I will be back in here live next Monday. I never know quite what I'm going to talk about, because I really want to go with the flow. If you have anything that you are struggling with, that you would like some help on, you'd like me to talk more about, please do let me know. I'll do a post before I come on, a couple of days before, just to see what the vibe is, what you're struggling with, so that I can show up and help you like this. We have got the masterclasses coming up soon. We're going to start off with the Incarnated Angel masterclasses. So if you do resonate with the angelic realm, you're going to want to be on that masterclass. I resonate with the 4 core realms: the angel, the elemental, the old soul, and the star person. I resonate so strongly with all 4 of them. So if you find that is you, that you resonate with all 4 of them, make sure you get on. If you find that you're just very strongly angelic resonate, you want to get on to that masterclass. And if you're 4, get on all 4 of those when they come out. I'm here to support you, and I thank you all for being here. It's good to see you and hear Rihanna. A long time, my friend. So until next time, my love to all of you. I hope there's peace in your heart now. I hope you feel that love so much more than before. And thank you for being here with me and for everything we've done today. My love to all of you.